great to be back at MIF. Again, my name is Ian Klassen. I'm the president of Grande Portage. This is our standard disclaimer. I know everyone has seen a million of them, but as we do rely on forward-looking statements, I would encourage you to familiarize yourself with the content. Thank you. I always like to start with some corporate details on the company. We trade on the TSX-V. We also trade on the OTCQB and in Frankfurt. We have just over 81 million shares issued and outstanding. We have approximately 1,000 shareholders, of whom 6 are very large shareholders owning 5 million shares or more each. In fact, last summer, we welcomed Eric Sprott as our single largest investor when he subscribed for 10 million units of the company. Management and advisors, we own about 15 million shares. As you can see, there's about 17 million warrants that are currently outstanding. Those are all in the money. Those are largely held by those 6 shareholders that I've mentioned. And the majority of those will be called upon this summer, which will add about 2.2 million more to the treasury with a balance of 2 million next year. So our project, we're entirely focused on the Herbert Gold Project. It's a mesothermal vein project in the southeast region of Alaska. We're located dead center between the Kensington mine owned by Coeur and the AJ and Treadwell mines, the historic mines that have each produced many millions of ounces of gold. By air, we're located 7 minutes from the Juneau Airport. So we're situated nicely in Alaska, close to tidewater, power, blacktop, and a skilled workforce that is familiar with mining. A few important summary details about the company. We have a 100% interest in the Herbert property. Prior to this upcoming drill season, we've put 176 holes in the ground. We've identified 5 main east-west trending quartz veins hosted in a quartz diorite. These veins are all steeply dipping to the north and sit almost like clockwork, 200 to 225 meters apart from each other. The veins are extremely predictable and exhibit prominently at surface, where a number of them can be tracked for up to 1 kilometer of strike length. Just last week, as Eric mentioned, we updated our resource calculation, which had a significant increase in size. We now have 1.2 million, roughly, indicated ounces at 10.23 grams gold and 326,000 ounces inferred at an average of just shy of 9 grams. A few details about the company's project. We have 91 claims that make up a land package around 2,000 acres. To date, we've only partially drill tested 4 of the primary veins from 47 different platforms. Many of these holes have been less than 150 meters from surface, which is really important given the fact this is a mesothermal system, which has a hallmark of going deep. 4,000 feet is not uncommon. We've not drilled the extent of this property. We feel that roughly 70% is still open to be tested. We've had real success with metallurgical results. The percentage of gold recoveries from numerous bottle roll tests throughout the property are in the mid to high 90s. In addition to drilling, we've had success expressed right at the surface. In 2 years ago, we tested, did some channel sampling on the goat vein, where we were very pleased to find very rich 8.4 ounces over a meter and 3.76 ounces over 1.2 meters. Incidentally, we drilled right there as well, about 170 meters below and 25 meters to the east of those surface expressions, and found numerous 10-gram results. This will give you a visual sense of the deposit dimensions, specifically how those veins stack up. As mentioned, they all lie east-west. They dip steeply to the north. They're all 2 to 225 meters apart. This system is right there for us. We just have to keep drilling it on a consistent basis. The deposit has numerous veins, but also hundreds of rich splays that are offshoots, which would be captured when underground mining occurs. So last season, we drilled with 2 rigs, 22 holes over 8,400 meters. Again, more good results. To summarize what we did, we successfully drilled all the eastern extensions of the known mineralization. We drilled some of the deepest holes on the property to date. We drilled further to the south than we had before. We extended the Goat vein to the east by more than 150 meters near surface, and it's still open. We extended the Ridge vein with 5 intercepts, best grades found 200 meters below surface. We extended the Main vein with 14 intercepts, results ranging up to 19 grams over 2.63 meters. And finally, the Deep Trench vein, we put 7 holes into it. These extended mineralization 100 meters further to the east and encountered good assays 500 meters below and peripheral to the established resource. So the Herbert has given us a real good fortune, and sometimes we get especially lucky. This is a summary of some of the best holes that we've encountered at the Herbert. The takeaway here is that, not just one of these veins is highly mineralized. We've had multiple meters of really high grade results across all of them. The Deep Trench vein was our best hole at 15.27 meters of 37 grams. But as you can see by some of those highlighted here, it's certainly not alone. Anyone who has a relatively high grade deposit seems to always have a picture in their presentation. So this is ours. This is that hole, 15.27 meters of 37 grams. This is a true width hole, and I think that looks pretty good. We hope we see more of those this year. Resource growth, always an important feature for us. It's a real priority that we report to our shareholders, the success that we get by way of national instrument. Our first resource calculation was in 2013. We had an initial resource of just under 200,000 indicated ounces at just shy of 7 grams. Then we went into a 4-year hiatus like a lot of juniors did, but rose again in 2017 to drill. In 2018, we filed our success that we had by increasing our resource many times to 267,000 ounces at just over 7 grams indicated and 82,000 inferred ounces at just over 6 grams. In 2019, we filed our third resource of 606,500 ounces indicated at over 10 grams with an inferred of 251 at 14. Last year, 2020 was a particularly successful season for us. This was evidenced by the nice uptick in high-grade gold ounces that we just announced last week, as Eric referenced. The full report will be filed on SEDAR around the middle of June. The 2020 season is fully permitted and will commence next month. The next few slides just look at a few cross sections of the Herbert. This is a 30-meter thick vertical cross section. Only the 2020 holes are marked to keep the section a little bit cleaner. From left to right, we have the Goat hanging wall and the Goat Creek vein with 4 new important intercepts. Then we have the Ridge, the Main vein, and the Deep Trench. 2 additional intercepts further to the south are also shown in 20H3, including the first assay results into the Elusive vein, our southernmost vein. This is another 30-meter vertical cross-section from left to right. Again, the Goat hanging wall, the Goat Creek vein. The Sleeping Giant hasn't been drawn in on this section yet, but it was particularly an uncovered gem for us. We didn't know it existed, but the assays are written there for you. 51 grams over 1.3 meters and 43 grams over 1.5 meters as outlined. This is a 40-meter thick longitudinal section in the plane of the vein looking north using 1.5 by 8 by 8 meter resource blocks color-coded to grade. The zone is open to the east and to depth. The higher grades in holes 20T, 3, 6, 7, and 11 all extended mineralization to the east. Another 40-meter thick longitudinal section also looking north using the same resource blocks color-coded as well. The western contact here between the host rock and the metasediments has been reinterpreted. The Deep Trench vein is open to the east and to depth, with the deepest hole was 20T11, returning almost 17 grams over a meter at a depth of 500 meters below surface. So looking beyond our known veins, a few years ago, we ran a LiDAR survey over the extent of the whole property. This confirmed an exciting opportunity for us to expand You can see our primary veins there in red. All the white veins, if you can see them show up, are what showed up on the LiDAR. You'll note they're all very similar in the sense that they're east-west trending, and we haven't touched any of those yet, with the exception of the elusive vein, which is this area right in here. But we intend on attacking some of that this summer, especially to the north of the main vein and carrying on through the elusive. The elusive had one hole in it last year, and that was about 4.46 grams over a 2-meter intercept. So where are we going to go in 2021? We're fully permitted and we'll mobilize around the 10th of June. We're permitted to drill from 9 platforms. These will test the eastern extensions of the Goat vein where we've had so much success. We'll expand coverage on the western, central, and eastern portions of the Deep Trench vein and the Ridge vein. We'll drill deeper on the main vein than we have before. And we'll also drill that Sleeping Giant vein that impressed between the Goat and the main vein. So it'll be a busy year for us. We're going to drill 8,000 meters, somewhere between 25 and 28 holes. We'll start with 1 rig and hopefully add a 2nd rig by mid-July. And we should be concluding all our drilling by the end of October, early November. Management, we're a small, highly dedicated team that have all worked together on this project since day one. I think we work very efficiently, and we've got a really good board of directors that come from a variety of background experience, all focused on good governance. We also have a world-class advisor in Tom Patton, who is the very reason why we knew about this property in the first place, having introduced it to me. He has a deep knowledge of the Herbert. He's a wonderful guy if anyone has the opportunity to get to know him. So reasons to buy, in summary, we're located in a safe and developed state with sound infrastructure nearby. We've had consistently promising drill results and a maturing resource, both in terms of size and grade. Our national instrument resource has just been upgraded and will be filed in just a couple of weeks. We've had a reliable and predictable vein structure where we actually have never missed on any of those 176 holes. And we've only drill tested about 30% of the property. Our 21 drill season is fully permitted, fully financed, and we're ready to go. Thank you very much for listening.